Maayos naman po yung phone ko, maayos naman po yung signal. So, I don't know why. But, please bear. Alright? Makakaraos din tayo. Proverbs chapter 30 po, verse 8. Proverbs chapter 30, verse 8. Sabi po sa Bible, remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me. Our subject this morning is neither poverty nor riches. Neither poverty nor riches. Ayan, tsaga-tsaga na lang. Okay. Si Agur po ang sumulat nitong Proverbs 30. And some says this name could either be another person from Solomon or maari naman pong pen name ni Solomon. But anyway, di po sa Proverbs 30, he makes two requests of God to be granted. The first is very understandable, and many of us will ask the same thing: to be kept from falsehood and lies. Many understand this and do not want to be in lies. Telling lies gets a person on a slippery downward slope that is difficult to get back up. So wala po sa ating gustong mabiktima ng mga ganitong kasinungalingan. The farther from the edge of that slope a person is, the better off he is. In other words, kung may iwasan po natin na mamuhay sa ganitong sistema ng pagkisama sa tao na punong-puno ng kasinungalingan, mas makabuti po sa atin. Now, there's other request, and the other request is to have neither poverty nor wealth. What is the first one? The first request was to be kept from falsehood and lies. The second one is to be kept from poverty and wealth. Doon sa una, we all wanted that. We all wanted to be kept from falsehood and lies. Wala ating gustong mapagsinungalingan at mabiktima ng kasinungalingan. But the second one seems to be very unusual, if not unreal. Kasi ang prayer niya is yung siya ay mailayo o maiiwas from poverty or wealth. Now, of course, alam natin, sino ba may gusto ng kahirapan? That is understandable also. Pero yung from wealth, meron ba itong maiiwas sa kayamanan? Meron ba sa ating gusto na mailayo sa kayamanan? Sabi nga po mga minamahal, marami ang nag-struggle sa talatang ito because most people want wealth. There's nothing wrong with wealth. The world dictates that. The problem is when a person is wealthy and he forgets about God. He doesn't seem to see that his need for God. That's the problem. The reliance on God will go away when a person becomes wealthy. It causes many people to stop believing on God for provision, for protection, and they just rely on their money. On the side of not wanting extreme wealth, Agur does not want to be extremely poor. Fears that he will end up stealing to survive, which dishonors God. So yung request na ito to have just enough for his daily bread seems to be the way for us to live. The challenge of having just enough for your daily bread is that you cannot directly see what there will be for tomorrow. Ayan, please, wag mo kayong mag-promote na kahit na ano dito sa ating comment section. The challenge will be difficult for each and every one of us. It is a walk that is required. It is a walk of faith, not by sight. It is trusting that God will meet all of your needs from day to day. It is not worrying about tomorrow. This can be a scary journey. Maaring ito ay makapakaba sa atin. Kasi ang prayer request itong si Agur ay he fears that he will end up either so rich or so poor, and he doesn't want any of them. His request is to have just enough for his daily sustenance. If you do not realize who God is, and how much He loves you, and how much He can do for you, that He is the master and sovereign of the whole universe, and His love for you is undying and eternal, then you will really be scared if life is not going well. How's your trust in God today? Are you trying to get rich so you can be secured and to provide for yourself and your family? Are you stealing so you have something to provide for your family? Or are you God that whatever the need will be, you just keep trusting the Lord? Ang panalangin ko sana each of us as we face the new year that is coming, and as we review the past year that is going to end up soon, makita po that God's vision can be trusted. Day to day, you never fear of being unprovided. If I will ask you this morning, would you rather be rich or poor? If you will become rich, will you still be humble to serve God? If 2021 will bring poverty to you, will you still trust the Lord and serve Him? Does it matter? See, the wisest man who ever lived happened to have great wealth. Yet he seems to favor neither poverty nor riches. Ayaw niya po ng poverty nor riches. Si Solomon, he desired neither wealth nor poverty and calls it vanity. Both bring their own sets of problems and challenges which we would all want to avoid. There are Christian groups that have avoided poverty for those who seek the Lord. Sabi nila, it is not God's will for Christians to be poor. Pero nakalimutan nila, one of the churches that is a model church in the New Testament, the Macedonian church, they were beyond. Sabi nga po, ang kanilang kalagayan ay masahol pa sa mahirap. Yet, to their power and beyond their power, yet, kahit na ganun sila kahirap, they gave the word of the Lord. So, ano po ang ating mas naisip? Those who are advocating prosperity gospel have renounced poverty, and all they wanted in serving God and seeking God's will is earthly wealth. Pero meron naman pong pro-poverty. And they are saying this is the best way to live a holy life. They have renounced earthly wealth and have chosen to live impoverished lives. Mas mahirap ka daw, mas spiritual ka. Thinking that the life of the poor is spiritually superior. Panahon pa yan ng Reformation Pero until now, may mga ganyan pa rin tayong mga Kristiyano na pinipili nila ang kahirapan kaysa kasaganaan. Kasi mas ma-spiritual daw ang tao nasa kahirapan. But on the other hand, there are many emerging churches today and even Baptist churches that are preaching prosperity gospel. Ano ba yung prosperity gospel, Pastor? Lagi ko na narinig yan. Ito ba yung nagtuturo na kapag tinanggap mo si Jesus bilang tagapagligtas at hindi ka ng Diyos at ikaw ay liligtas sa Kanya at ikaw ay buhay sa kalooban niya, yayaman ka at magpatagumpay ka talaga. Basta gawin mo lang at sumunod ka sa Diyos, hindi pa yung hindi yaman. Prosperity gospel. That is not what the Bible is teaching. Yes, there are people who obeyed God and became rich. But there are many people who never experienced what it means to have everything in life. They don't have 3 meals a day. They don't have shelter. They don't have clothes to wear. Wala silang mga designer clothes na branded na mga damit or accessories. Will you say that they are not serving God and they are not being blessed by God? They have been used by God mightily and greatly. In fact, even Jesus Christ Himself, He said, foxes have holes and birds have nests. The Son of Man have nothing where to lay His head. Wala nga siyang matulugan. Kung nabubuhay po ang ating Panginoon sa panahon natin yun, wala siyang pagbayad ng kanyang titirahan. Para siyang yung mga pastor na walang pahulog sa house. Walang parenta. Hindi ho yan na ang kasaganaan o ang ramera ay papalan Diyos. At kapag wala yan ay hindi ka sa Diyos, ikaw ginagamit na Diyos. Kasi kung yan ang patan, Jesus Christ, the apostles, and the early churches, the early Christians, eh, hindi pala sila ginamit ng Diyos. Pero paano nakarating ang gospel sa atin, hindi sila ginamit ng Diyos? Hindi naman po mayayaman ang nagtatayo ng gawain ng Diyos. Hindi naman po mayayaman ang nagpakalat ng Ebanghelyo ng Diyos. Bakos yun yung taong matatapat, hanggang ibuwis ang buhay. At kayang talikuran ang alok ng yaman ng sanlibutan. Masunod lamang ang paglilingkod sa Diyos. So, Agur would not have of this. Agur would have none of this. He prayed that God would simply give him the food that he needed. Para pareho po ito sa sinabi ni Jesus Christ. When Jesus Christ taught us to pray, Jesus said, give us this day prosperity of bread. Yung ba sinabi? Hindi po. Ang sinabi ni Jesus Christ, give us this day our daily, not even weekly or monthly, but daily bread. That means sufficient to the day is what we only need. Tama yung anong meron ngayon, sapat na yun. Hindi kailangan kaya mag-imbak tayo para hanggang sa isang taon meron tayong kakainin. Let us ask God for what we need. Nothing more, nothing less. The wise men identified 2 problems with the extremes dito sa ating binasa. Neither poverty nor riches is our subject. If you will be allowed by God to choose, which side will you choose? Poverty or riches? Si Solomon po or si Agur, he will not side on any of them. He will not side on poverty. He will not side on the riches. But he will have what God had always intended for us Christians. To be contented to be level-headed. Kahit hindi tayo masyadong mayaman, kahit hindi tayo masyadong mahirap. Basta kung anong meron. For the rich, God is often forgotten, if not forgotten, disregarded, and not acknowledged. Ayan po, nagkakaproblema po yung signal ko. Sana magkatuloy-tuloy lang po tayo. But just as there are terrible dangers from becoming rich, there's also a danger in becoming so poor. Having too little is as dangerous as having too much. Both extremes. You see, brethren, faithfulness to God and loyalty to Jesus Christ require neither wealth nor poverty. One's financial condition is not relevant. May pera ka wala, kung gusto mo maglingkod sa Diyos, makapaglingkod ka. At the cross of Christ stood the poor, the rich, and those who are neither rich or poor. Andun po si Mary, si Joseph of Arimathea, si Nicodemus, the rest of the people of the city of Jerusalem. Sabi nga po, the con and the noble, the rich and the poor, all stood at the level ground beneath the Calvary tree. And there's always room for any of us at the cross of Jesus Christ. Let us be contented to be in the place where God wanted us to be. Kung niligay ka ng Diyos sa kahirapan, huwag mong tingnan niya na kahirapan. Kung niligay ka ng Diyos sa kayamanan, huwag mong tingnan niya na kayamanan. In any of these, tingnan mo yan as opportunity to serve God, as opportunity to glorify God, not as difficulty para hindi ka maglingkod sa Diyos. The normal way of life is not on the poverty side. Neither is it on the richest side. But in the center of God's will, where you can say, I have, like the Apostle Paul, ang sabi niya, in Philippians, chapter 4, babasahin ko po sa inyo. Philippians chapter 4, ito po ang sabi ni Apostle Paul. Sabi niya, not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am, wherewith to be content. I know both how to be abased, and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things, I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. At dito po pumapasok yung Philippians 4:13, at ito po yung context nun. I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me. That is not for anything else, but for living a modest life. Neither riches nor poverty, neither poverty nor riches, but in the center of God's will. Whatever I may have, whatever I may don't have, I will serve the Lord with all my best, with all gladness, and with all singleness of heart. Because I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. God bless you. Pasensya na po. At may mga problema tayo today sa pag-live streaming. And thank you sa 38 viewers natin. Hope you'll share this. Niraos po natin ito para hindi maputol. Sayang naman, dalawang edition na lang, mawawalan pa tayo ng isa. So we will try to complete our commitment to God, and we thank you for joining us kahit 10 a.m. na ito. Tandaan po niyo, ang masayang buhay, hindi mahirap, hindi mayaman, kundi sapat lang sa kalooban ng Diyos, anuman ang kanyang ipagkaloob. Pupurihin siya, pasasalamatan siya, paglilingkuran siya, at mamahalin siya. Siya na namatay at nabuhay para sa atin. Si Jesus na tumubo sa ating mga pagkasala. Sa Diyos Ama na nabigay sa atin ng kanyang anak na Jesus. Sa banal na Espiritu, nandun sa atin ng mga katotohanan ito. Purihin siya, purihin siya, purihin siya. To God be the glory. So tayo po ay manalangin. Salamat po, Panginoon Diyos, na kami po ay nakapag-hope pa rin. Salamat po sa iyong pagmahal. Salamat po sa malapit ng matapos na taon na kami iningatan mo at patuloy na binibigyan mo ng pagkakataong maglingkod sa iyo. 2 days na lang po matatapos na 2020, and as we face a new year, Father, I pray, please, thy will be sa amin. We ask that you will bless us, neither poverty nor riches, but just in the place of your will, where we can be useful to you and a blessing to many. We love you, Lord. We pray for those who are sick. Pastor Virgilio Galang, paghaligyan niyo po siya. At